यम ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्नन्ति दिव्यैर्वेदैस्तवैर्वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणदेवाय तस्मै नमः. Meditation from the Gita. I salute the Shining One, whose praise is sung in diverse hymns by Brahma, Vishnu, Indra, Rudra and Maruts, whose glories are proclaimed by the birds of the in the verses and the chapters of the Vedas, whom the yogis see when their minds are absorbed in contemplation, and whose limit is not known by the hosts of gods and other beings. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be to all. This morning our subject is Thoughts on the Gita, part 83. Gita. Gita acts 4 roles in human life. Gita acts as the mother, father, teacher and friend. Mahatma Gandhi used to say, when I have any trouble, I go to Gita. And I get the answer of my problem. Whenever the children have any problem, they first approach the mother. Mother generally looks after the welfare of the children, protects them, guides them through love and affection. In the Gita also, we find Krishna says, Pita ahamaisya jagato mata dhata pitamaha. I am the father and mother of this whole world. I am the nourisher. I am the protector. I am the goal. I am the Lord. I am the witness. I am the refuge. I am the friend. I am the creation, preservation, destruction of this whole universe. And I am the seed of this universe, all beings. When we read the Bhagavad Gita, we feel that someone is pouring love and affection to me. Krishna acted as a mother. Again, we find Krishna acted as a father. There is a saying, nurse the baby, protect the child, free the adult. Generally, the mother's duty to the children is from 1 to 12. That is the time mother pours love, affection, and builds the moral, ethical values, habits, all these things, that is mother's job. And 13 to 19, that is father's job. The father teaches the children, stand on your own feet, have good education, be successful. The father gives moral support and conviction. This is the way you will have to lead the life. Sometimes father acts as a chastising father. He rules like with iron fist. Disciplines the children, which is extremely important. In the very beginning, if you let them loose, they will go astray. Father's job is to discipline the children so that they can succeed. Sometimes inexperienced teenagers, they are guided by emotion. They do not develop yet sufficient power of discrimination. What is right, what is wrong? It is father's duty. Go this way, this is right. That is wrong. You see, mother is too soft. Mother cannot hurt the children. It is the father who generally controls the children. I remember one young boy wanted to go to see someone in New York. His father said, well, if you go to him, take all of your belongings from the home and go out. But I found a friend through internet, I am going to New York. We need a strong father. Krishna mentioned in the Gita, when we get depressed sometimes, Father encourages, get up, go to work. Now look what Krishna says. In this crisis, O Arjuna, whence comes such lowness of spirit, unbecoming to an Aryan, dishonorable, and an obstacle to the attaining of heaven? Do not yield to unmanliness, O son of Pritha. It does not befit you. Shake off this base faint-heartedness and arise, O scorcher of enemies. Swamiji says that is the main theme of the Bhagavad Gita. Kulebhyam asmagama partha noitatvai upapadyate kshudram hridayodurbulyam tyaktatishta parantapa. Do not yield to depression. Do not yield to unmanliness. Get up. Get up. That is the father's job. Always encouraging, inspiring the children. Arjuna also mentioned, Pitasya lokasya characharasya tamanna pujyasya gurur guriyan. You are the father of the world, of the moving and unmoving. You are the object of worship, the teacher of teachers. Please forgive me, just as a father forgives his son, a friend, his companion, and a lover, his beloved. Again, Gita acts as a teacher, guru. Gu means darkness, ru means remover, destroyer. The person who removes darkness of the mind is called guru. So here Krishna is the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita we find universal, free from doctrine, dogma, creed. Everybody has something in the Gita. Everybody will get something from the Gita. Krishna deals with all kinds of human problems. After giving and lessons of all yogas, he says, Mat chitta sarva durgani, mat prasadat turishyasi, atachetvam ahankarat nasrashyasi, vinakshasi. Listen what I tell you. I gave all this lesson, nearly 600 verses, total 700 verses. I think 560 or 70 verses Krishna said. He is talking, he is telling, with your mind on me, you will by my grace overcome all difficulties. But if you don't listen to me, out of conceit, you will perish. Sometimes we have too much ego, hard ego. We do not want to change. I was listening to a lecture in Hollywood long ago. A black man came, he says, he's a minister. Do you see the movies in Hollywood? Well, yes. Do you know how many times we change it before it comes to the production? You wrote the movie script, gave to the director. Director starts shooting, selects the actors, actresses. Do you know what do? They take the scene after scene and they shoot. Then, it did not work. This one will not work. Cut. Do you know what cut means? $20 million. 20 to 25 million, sometimes 40, $50 million we lose because it does not go to the set. And if I am the perhaps the script writer, if I do not listen to the director, my movie will not come. You will have to go with the director, the way the movie is moving. You must change, that the teacher was telling. This is extremely important. If you do not listen to your guru, you will never change. I have never heard that idea that behind the movie, how many millions of dollars they lose. Change. You must change. Next, Gita is our friend. Who is your friend? Bandhanat Bandhu, the person who ties you with love. That person is your friend. Krishna and Arjuna were cousins, close friends. Being an incarnation of God, Krishna became the charioteer of Arjuna. Tutra Vetraikapana. Do you see? There is a whip in my hand. I am holding 4 horses with the reins of the 4 horses in my left hand. And the right hand I have the whip. I am the charioteer. I shall drive the chariot in my way. If from the driver, from passenger seat, if you guide the driver will confuse, you will be confused, there will be an accident. A passenger seat, sometimes, hey, drive this way, that way. That. If all of a sudden the driver changes his course or this and that, there will be an accident. That Krishna says, Totra Vetraya, whip is in my hand, Totra, a bait, this is in my hand. I shall drive the chariot. I am not only the charioteer of your chariot, I am the charioteer of your life. I shall guide your life. You listen to me. When we see Gita in this way, that book becomes so dear to us. Here is my friend, will never misguide me, will take me to the right direction. And when God becomes the friend and the guide, we are safe and secure. That is the message we find from the Gita. We like to be safe. We like to be secure. When we get confused and depressed, what do? We immediately go to a friend whom we love, whom we trust. Then we open our heart. We release all of our burdens to that friend and say, please help me. Do you know what do they say? There is a saying in our language, Bandhuhine Jibon bodo dukkhapurna. If you do not have a friend in your life is miserable. You cannot release your burden, your pain, your misery, your suffering. You cannot exchange your love, your joy with someone else. It is extremely important to have somebody in your life with whom you can share, whom you love, whom you trust. Extremely important. So Arjuna got a friend like Krishna. So he released all of his pain and misery and confusion, and now Krishna is answering. Today we shall study, that is my introduction. Today we shall study the last portion of the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which is called Raja Vidya Raja Gujja Yoga. Sovereign of knowledge and sovereign of mystery. Sovereign of knowledge. In this chapter, Krishna unveiled the whole mystery of life. Do you know what is that mystery? Love, bhakti. You might have millions of dollars. If nobody is there to love you, your life will be miserable. I have none to love. And nobody loves me either. That mystery Krishna unveils in this 9th chapter. I told you many times, during Krishna's time, these two powerful schools are fighting among themselves. The ritualistic school of the Vedas, Karma Kanja, and the knowledge school of the Vedas, that is the Upanishad, Jnana Kanja. And what did Krishna did? He did not disturb, he built two columns and then connected with bhakti, like an arch. Two columns came and then it is connected. That is the beauty we find in the Bhagavad Gita. All yogas are good. You can reach God in every yogas. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga. That Krishna said in the Gita. You can reach me through this path, through this path, through this path. And he said how to reach. You know, we need somebody to tell us definitely. Not, I think so, maybe, all the vague words sometimes we use and we get confused. I got a scolding from a Swami once. He asked me a question. I said, Maharaj, I think so. Then they scolded me right and left. Based on your words, I am going to make a decision. If your words are wrong, my decision will be wrong. Either say, Swami, I know, or say, I do not know. Never use any vague, confused word. I think so, maybe this, that. No, don't use those words. So, that is the introduction of the 9th chapter. Verse 30. Opichet suduracharo bhajate mamananyabhak sadureva samantebhya sammak vyabhasito hisa. If even a very wicked person worships me with one pointed devotion, he or she should be regarded as good, for he or she has very rightly resolved. In the previous verse, Krishna says, I am the same in all beings. To me, there is none hateful or dear, but those who worship me with devotion are in me. I too am in them. Somebody asked, Swami Brahmananda or Swami Premananda, I say, if I do not worship God, meditate God, what will happen? He said, nothing will happen. You will be the loser. Oh, if I do not worship God, God will suffer. Don't think that way. God is not going to suffer. Some people think that way. Well, no, I shall not. Please remember, these three verses, first 30, 31, 32. These three verses reveal the Pabani Shakti, purifying power of God. These three verses are very, very important. These verses, if you really meditate, you will be purified. And those who are going to wrong directions, they will get assurance. You see, in human life, do you know what we need? Three things. Hope, faith, and love. Think of that. If you do not have these three things, what will happen to your life? You have no hope. You will not get up from the bed if you have no hope in the morning. Hope, faith. If you do not trust anybody, your life will be miserable. In the home, husband does not have faith in wife, wife does not faith in husband, that home is hell. Faith. And third, love. There is no joy in human life. That Krishna is going to Anittam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajas samam. He will tell us. These three things are vital. Hope, faith, and love. That we shall find. Hope, gospel of hope. That Krishna is telling. Opichet suduracharo. No, durachar means wicked. Sudurachara means extremely wicked. Means supremely wicked. Bhajate mam ananyabhak. Worships me with one pointed love, one pointed devotion. that person is sadhu. That person is really holy. I consider. Mantebhyo. I consider. Why? Because that person's very resolution is right. Resolution. Sometimes in New Year's Day, many people take resolution. New Year's resolution. I shall not smoke. I shall not drink. I shall lose my weight. I shall do this, that. Many people take various kinds of resolutions. He is saying, Samyak Babusito. I shall worship God. This resolution will make that person holy. Why? Because mind is going to the right direction by the grace of God. In Kaushitaki Upanishad, there is a mantra. Jamebhyo lokebhyo unnishati tam sadhu karma karoyati sadhu chintayati. The person whom God will give a lift, He will force that person to think good thoughts. He will force that person to do good deeds. He will force you to go have holy company, have spiritual instruction, practice japa, meditation, study good books. Do you know what will happen? The mind will learn. And all of your bad karma will be buried. That is the reason we practice spiritual disciplines. All of your past will be sandwiched, will go down. And layer after layer, goodness will develop, punya, virtues. And then with those bad thoughts and all those things will be suppressed. They will not die, but they will be suppressed. They will not be raised, they will not be able to come to the surface plane of the mind. That is the reason we practice spiritual disciplines. I remember we went to see Disneyland. London Swami, myself. At that time I was in Hollywood. The one girl, we in Disneyland, we are VIPs. We do not stand in line. We get a guide and a lunch. So this girl, she leaves home very early in the morning, comes to the Disneyland, works 8 hours. Then she goes to a language school. She knows German, Russian, French, many languages. Because when the foreigners come, she becomes the guide. So that girl returns home at 10 o'clock at night. So our London Swami was with me asking that girl, I said, you meet your husband only when he is for asleep, and then when in the breakfast you perhaps eat with your husband. So 7 to 10, nearly 13, 14 hours, this Disney is in your mind. And only 1 hour husband. So which one is real? Your husband is real or Mickey Mouse is real? That's Swami was asking that girl. But think of that. 13 hours Disney is in your mind. And only 1 hour the husband is in your mind. So what will happen? I was enjoying the conversation of our London Swami and that girl. Which one is real? Similarly, 12, 13 hours a day, if you meditate and think of God, do you know what will happen? You will be a saint. Every day, day in, day out. Your whole life will change, bound to change. It is the mind who makes everything right. Opichet Shudra Charo. In this connection, Sri Ramakrishna told a beautiful story. A thief entered somebody's pond to steal some fish. And when he put the net, the owner of the house got up and turned on the light and was about to chase that where is the thief. But the thief realized, so he went near the jungle and he put ashes on his body and sat under the tree and began to meditate. Then the people, all people were trying to catch the thief, they could not find. At last they found a person besmeared with ashes and meditating under a tree like a holy person, monk. So next day news spread that holy person is in here. So all villagers came and brought food to him and paying respect to him. And the thief was thinking, these people are showing so much respect, giving me so much food. I am a thief. I am not a right person. But if I be a real monk, what will happen? I am a false person, just took the garb of a monk. But if I be a genuine monk, what will happen to my life? So his life was changed. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell all these stories to the devotees that, how a person can change. Then Sri Ramakrishna told another story of Billamangal. It is in the Bhaktamal Granth, stories of the saints of India, Bhaktamala, garland of the real devotees. There is a person named, I told you perhaps a story of Billamangal. Girish Ghosh wrote a drama on him. He was a libertine. He fell in love with a prostitute named Chintamani. His father died. Still that night he came crossing the river to this girl. It was a stormy, rainy night. Nobody dared to cross him the river. So he found something floating. He grabbed it and crossed the river. Then he knocked at the door. The door was not open. So he held something and jumped over the wall and fell. At that time, the girl came and saw him in that condition. My goodness, you have come today. How did you cross? Well, I found a log. They went and found it was a corpse, dead body. How did you cross the wall? Well, there is a rope. It was not a rope. Holding a snake, he crossed the wall. Then this girl said, we do not love, we pretend for money. Your love is so genuine. If you put this love instead of me to God, you will see God. Thus, that girl became his guru. He immediately left. And then he became an illumined soul. Krishna appeared before him. And he wrote famous book. Very famous book he wrote about love, about divine love, how his life was changed. So, Opi Sudracharya, even a wicked person's life becomes holy. As there is a saying, as the saint has his past, so the sinner has the future. A church is the heaven of saints, but also a hospital for sinners. I think it is Anne Langer's column I wrote. Anne Langer's and J.R. Abbey are my guide for many years. I used to read their columns very much so. And I have 2 volumes. One of our devotees presented me. I read sometimes. See, reading those books, you know what is going on in whole of America. Girish Ghosh came to Sri Ramakrishna and said, Sir, I am a sinner. Sri Ramakrishna says, the person who says sinner, he becomes a sinner. You change mother's name, God's name, you will be a saint. Sir, the place I sit 7 feet below, that place becomes unholy. No. He said, do you know how do I look at sin? I think it is Tulor Pahad. It is a mountain of cotton. Put 1 matchstick, whole mountain of cotton will be burnt into ashes in no time. That is the way I look at sin. 1000 বছর অন্ধকার ঘরে যদি আলো আসে কি একটু একটু করে আসবে? If the room is dark for 1000 years, do you think the light will come slowly, slowly? In the twinkling of an eye, the whole room will be lighted. That's Sri Ramakrishna said. It is a great gospel of hope. Then Girish says, Sir, Sri Ramakrishna says, still you smell like garlic. Garlic cup, 100 times you wash, still that garlic smell remain. Then Girish asked, sir, will my garlic smell go? It will go. How? If that garlic cup you put into the fire in the kiln, all smell will go. But if you wash it, it will not go. So through the japa meditation, the spiritual fire you created in your heart, it will destroy all of your bad odor or bad karma. That's Sri Ramakrishna said. Very beautiful. Illustrations are so beautiful. You can see it. Very graphic. If you really want to change your life, you can. You will not have to wait. Today make the resolution. He says, Samyak Vyabhusita Hisa. His right resolution changes the whole current of his life. Swami Ranganathanandaji quoted from La Miserable. That is the theme of the famous French book of Victor Hugo's Les Miserables. A beautiful story of Jean Valjean, a thief who stole from a bishop's house many golden and silver items. He was being chased by the police. When he returned everything, the bishop had no anger against him. The bishop blessed him, saying, "It is yours, you take it." But the police took him to be a criminal. The bishop had forgiven him, and the rest of his life was a play of this misunderstanding that he had become changed by the touch of the bishop. But the police did not recognize it. Society did not recognize it. So Jean Valjean goes on constantly being shadowed by the police. Inspector Javert one character comes there. Very interesting story is the Les Miserables. So here also the truth is very strongly put. Sadhureva samantebhyo, he or she must be considered as holy only. You know, I saw that movie, Les Miserables. It is a beautiful classic. It is a classic. You must trust, you must give the people, those who want to change. Oh, you are a sinner, you did once in your life, that means you are go to eternal damnation. Vedanta does not believe it. You can change. Human beings can change. From animal being to human being, from human being to divine being. That is the beauty of Vedanta philosophy. Next verse. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashat shanting nigochyati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. It is God's promise to human beings. Na me bhakta pranashati. Me bhakta. My devotees never perishes. It is God's promise to mankind, humankind. Soon does he or she becomes righteous and attain eternal peace. O son of Kunti, boldly you can proclaim that my devotee will never be destroyed. Sri Ramakrishna made a remark, two remarks. One day he was telling him, তুমি কর্মনাশা নদী দেখেছো? যে সে নদীতে একবার ডুব দিলে সব কর্ম নষ্ট হয়ে যায়। Have you seen any river, কর্মনাশা, which destroys actions? And if you dip in that river, if you bathe there, all of your karma will be destroyed. He indicated that I am that কর্মনাশা river. In another place he made a remark, আমি কর্মনাশা, আমি ফরাসডাঙ্গা. I am the destroyer of action and I am the French colony. Do you know what does it mean? During Sri Ramakrishna's time, India was under three rules, British, French and Portuguese. Portuguese people, Goa, Daman, Diu, and French people, Chandanagar, Kari, Mahi, and Pondicherry, 4 places. These are spots in India. Remaining most of the part under British. So, Ami Forasjanga means if you do a crime in British India, then you move to the French colony, French India, British people cannot catch you or punish you. That he was telling, Ami Forasjanga. Aurobindo also escaped from the British, going to the French colony. From Chandanagar, he went to Pondicherry. That is the way he was not caught. So anyhow, what he was talking about, that if you do anything wrong in this world, but if you come to me, you are saved. Forasjanga. I am the French colony. You know, some of his words are so beautiful, very poetic, and at the same time deep, meaningful. Name Bhakta Pranashati. Once Girish was heavily drunk and he was in a wrong place in a brothel. Then he came to Sri Ramakrishna next day and cried to the master. Sri Ramakrishna said, are you bitten by an ordinary water snake which has no poison? You are bitten by a cobra. Its poison will work. And that happened. His whole life was changed. Later life he used to say, do you want to see miracles? See me. What I was and what I am now. Sri Ramakrishna made me a god. We were working on Holy Mother's life. Do you know what Holy Mother said to one of his disciples, her disciples who was going in a wrong direction? And, Mother, I have no peace of mind, you take back your mantra. Mother says, no, my son, I shall repeat mantra for you. You will not have to do anything. Then he says, Mother, then you took away my everything. What shall I go? Shall I go to hell? Mother, Holy Mother became very, she was very much animated and said, what? Bidhir সাধ্য নেই যে আমার সন্তানকে কোনো ক্ষতি করে. Even the God, the Creator, has no power to touch my children because I am the Divine Mother. I gave the protection. Even God cannot do anything. That is a very powerful statement. You might have done something wrong, but if you take refuge in God, you are protected. God will protect you. But you will have to surrender wholeheartedly, 100%. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Kshipram means very quickly, very soon. The person who just started to move, it will not take a long time to change. It will change. And Shashwat Shanti, eternal peace, will come to that person. Next word is Pratijanihi. Pratijani means know it for certain. Another word, Pratijani, means if somebody comes and tells you, yeah, that person is bad, why are you giving shelter? But you know that person is changing. The Pratijani means you boldly declare, raising your hand, that it is God's promise to human beings, my devotee will never perish. He is saved and protected. Very interesting. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. This commentator made 3 comments. Mantavya, Samak Vyabhashita, and Kshipram Bhavati Dharmatma. Sadhureva sa Mantavya. Mantavya means remark. Consider him. That is Mantavya. But who says that he is Dharmatma, he is spiritual. It is I. Krishna says, I say that he is the Dharmatma because his mind is now on me. I can see that person's mind just like a mirror. He is going right direction and he took right resolution. He is Dharmatma. He will make tremendous progress quickly. That he made a remark. Samyak Babusito. Do you know how I look at it? Let me tell you how I look at it. In the 12th chapter of the Gita, Krishna mentioned, Moyeva mano adhatsa, moyi buddhim niveshayo. Those two words sometimes inspire me. Put your mind in me. There he did not stop. Moyi buddhim niveshayo. Hold it. Hold it. Buddhi. Sometimes I give this illustration. Do you know what camera does? You are focusing. And then when it is right focus, you click it with the shutter. So mind is the camera. It is focusing. And buddhi is the shutter. Immediately clicks it. Right. Press it. Then the picture will come. So that is the way. When you meditate, you are focusing your mind on God. Mind oscillates. This object, that object. At that time, bring your buddhi, intellect, and hold it. That is the reason buddhi is called Nishchatmika Buddhi. Nishchay. It makes the thing, this is right. Hold it. If you can hold your mind for 5 minutes, you will find my mind will be still, calm, serene. That is the whole secret of this meditation. Mind moves like a monkey, but your buddhi will hold. No, you cannot move. That he is talking about. A samyak babosito. With your intellect, hold that thing. It will work. It will work. Shobhanam adhyabhasayanam kritavan. Sridhar Swami made a remark, commentary. Shobhanam adhyabhasayanam. When your adhyabhasa, your mind, your intellect, grasp the right thing. Hold it. Hold it. Through what? Ananya bhakti. Through devotion. Through love. Well, perhaps this person started his journey. Perhaps Lord knows how many lives it will take to him to reach. He says, Kshipram. Very soon, he will make progress. Then Vijay Krishna Goswami told a beautiful story. He was a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. He had many disciples. He said somebody took mantra from him and doing all wrong things, very bad things in his life. So other disciples came and complained to Vijay Krishna Goswami, you gave mantra to your disciple, look what a sinful life he is leading now. Then Vijay Krishna Goswami said, my mantra is working. What do you mean by my mantra working? He took initiation from you and now he is doing all bad things. Well, do you know what? When you go near the forest, sometimes occasionally you may see a jackal or you may see a snake, this and that. But if you set fire in the forest, you will find all tigers, lions, rhinoceros, all wild animals will come out. So my mantra entered his mind, so all tigers and lions and rhinoceros, all bad things are coming out from his mind. So my mantra is working. My mantra is working. That is a very beautiful story. But in his bhajan, his spiritual disciplines, is creating so much heat in his mind, all his enemies are coming out. I gave a lecture on that, an unseen warfare. Some years ago, I gave a lecture. You have 6 enemies inside. When you practice your meditation and japam, those 6 enemies will come out. Who are those men? Who are those enemies? Kama, lust, anger, jealousy, ego, hatred, and greed. These are the 6 enemies. They make our lives miserable. Shashat Shantim. Then he mentioned, I said, this bhakti, does the bhakti do? Love for God, what does it do? Kleshagni Shubhada. Klesh. All of your, through love, when devotion comes to your life, all of your sufferings, afflictions will go away. Ashubhada means it will bring good to you and bring peace to you. This is the power of bhakti, pavani shakti, purifying power. Kaunte apratijanihi name bhakta pranashati. I remember many years ago I went to see a movie, Your Body Greek, Anthony Quinn's, that I shall never forget that a man committed adultery and how the people are throwing stones that person, that girl, that woman, and killed her. Even when I was working, how the people in other religions treat the sinners. Even we find in the Bible also, when some people wanted to kill a woman who committed adultery, then she took refuge in Jesus, and Jesus was told these people that those who have not committed any adultery, let that person throw stone to this woman first. So everybody dropped their stones and left. Then Jesus asked that woman, they have gone away, sir. Jesus said, where are your accusers? They have gone away, sir. They did not find any fault with you? No, they didn't, because you told them. He who had not done any sin, let him cast the first stone. Hearing this, Jesus said, so they have left you. I also say, I leave you. You are free. You can go and sin no more. That's the beautiful words of Jesus. Go and sin no more. All religions now, committed, the women are all the culprit, the men are all gods. Kill the women. I do not believe this kind of thing anyhow. Next verse. Manghi partha vyapashita jeopi su papojonayoho striyo vaishyas tatha sudra eopi yanti param gotim. For taking refuge in me, for they also, O son of Pritha, who might be of inferior birth, as well as women, Vaishyas, as well as Shudras, even they attain to the supreme goal. Sometimes people do not understand the then condition of India. You see, women did not have access to the Vedas and the Vaishyas and Shudras. The Brahmin caste system was a rigid caste system. Brahmin and Kshatriya, they started the Vedas. Why Vedas? What is the Vedas? Culture. Women did not get that highest culture. But we find in the Upanishad, there are some women, Maitri, other women, they are Gargi, they are Brahmavadini, they are Nora Brahman. We find women as very high position in Ramayana and Mahabharata also. But later period, medieval period, the women did not have access to the Vedas, so they did not get highest culture. That Krishna says, even though they, through love, through ananya bhakti, devotion, they will attain me. That Krishna says. It is a long commentary. Next verse. King punah brahmana punya bhakta rajarshayastata anitam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajaswamam. What need to mention holy brahmanas and devoted rajarshis, means kshatriyas, having obtained this transient joyless work, you worship me. When Krishna first in the previous verse says, even the Shudra Vaishya, they will come to me. But what we speak about the Brahmins and the Kshatriyas, they are highly cultured, they will receive, they will also come to me. Then he says, it is a very beautiful verse. Sometimes we repeat it. Anittam asukham lokam. This world is not real. Anittam, impermanent place. Asukham, full of misery, joyless. Imam prapya bhajasamam. Having attained this world, just worship me. You know, sometimes I think about godless life. I remember a man used to come here. Swami, I am an atheist. I said, really? You are atheist? But you trust your wife. You do not trust God, that is perfectly all right. But you trust your wife. That's the reason you go to bed. You know your wife will not cut your throat when you are asleep. That's it. He never came back. You know your wife will not cut your throat when you are sleeping. And you say you do not trust God. That is perfectly all right. But you trust the Air Force airline pilot. You know that he will not bring the plane down. When you go to a restaurant, you eat food. You have faith in that chef that he is not going to poison you. You go for surgery, open heart surgery, you know the surgeon will not kill me. You have faith on these people. Only you do not have faith in God. That's perfectly all right. You go home. Some people say, I godless life, I am fine. I do not need God. I say, Anittam. When you have a heart attack, oh Lord. Asukham, misery. You know, when you read the Gospel of Ramakrishna and Gita, you can feel it. You can see this world and how to make this world a place of joy and merriment. That Krishna and Ramakrishna taught. How my family, my home, my monastery, how can I make this place joyful? I can make this place hell. And I can make this place heaven. It is all me. I always tell people, please bring peace at home. That is the first thing. Have a shrine. Bring your holy books. Read. Create an atmosphere. It is up to you. How will you train your children? It is up to you. Fill thy mind with me. Be my devotee. Sacrifice unto me. Bow down to me. Thus, having made your heart steadfast in me, taking me as the supreme goal, you shall come to me. So, Parabhakti, Ananya Bhakti, that one-pointed devotion, where will it take us? It will take you straight to God. Manmana bhavo, through bhakti, love, just fix your mind in me. We shall discuss it from both directions. Watch his word. First says, Manmana, fix your mind in me. The second word he says, Manmana bhavo, just fix your mind in me. Then, Madbhakta bhavo, be my devotee. If you cannot put your mind all the time in me, then be my devotee. Just try to love me. Then, if you cannot do that, if you cannot be a good devotee, madhyaji, worship me. If you cannot do that, mam namaskuru, just salute me, pay respect to me. Then do you know what? I am giving you alternatives. If one of them will work, then you will reach me. Because evam atmanam juktva, means if you connect your atman here, atmanam means mind. If you connect your mind with me, matparayana, then you will reach me. We go the other way. Namaskuru. First bow down to me. Just sometimes we see, sometimes we call it Kurule Namaskar. We bow down. We salute. Do you know what that means? Humility. Be humble. That is the first thing. Curb your ego. Ego is terrible. As I always say, ego is the stumbling block. It is the wall between the infinite and the finite. We do not see God because of ego. When ego melts, he will be one with God. Ego. I told you that story. One lady used to come to me and say, Swami, I have a little ego problem. I said, really? Do you have ego? Well, yes, Swami. Then I asked, are you the Miss Universe? No. Do you have a PhD degree? No. Do you have millions of dollars? No. Then what do you have? People become proud if they have fantastic beauty, plenty of wealth, or great learning. That person become ego. Can claim that I have ego. What do you have? You are right, Swami, but still I have ego. Ego. That's Krishna says. First, namaskuru, be humble. Then, madhyaji, worship me. Then you will be a devotee, and then your mind will be absorbed in me. That is the only way you can reach God. This is the Phalashruti. Do you know what this Phalashruti means? The result of bhakti. If I have devotion for God, love for God, what shall I achieve? What shall I gain? What shall I get? But that Krishna said, you will get me. You will reach God if you have love and devotion. That is called Phalashruti. Promise. It will come. When that love comes, Swami made a remark, I also quite often I quote these things. Rabia was a Sufi mystic. Somebody asked, do you love God? Yes. Do you hate Satan? No. Why? Because God did not keep any room of hatred in my heart. That she replied. My heart is full of love. There is no scope, no room for hatred. That is called parabhakti. What is the Raja Gujjo? What is the whole mystery of this chapter? He says Gujjo Yoga. What is the mystery? Mystery is Atmanivedana. What is the Rajavidya? What is the supreme knowledge? Ananya Bhakti. Supreme, one-pointed devotion. What is the mystery? Atmanivedana. Offerings, self-surrender, self-sacrifice to God. That is Gujjo. That is the secret. Nama. Sometimes we say Ganeshaya Namo, Durgaya Namaha. Namo. Namo means no mamo, not I, thou, Lord. That is the secret. Transform your I into God consciousness. Then you will get supreme devotion and God's mystery will unveil to you. Anyhow, that is the Manmana Bhavo Mad Bhakta Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. So we finished 9th chapter, then we shall start 10th chapter in fall. It is a beautiful, really, when you read this Gita and you will meditate, only reading will not do. You will have to meditate word by word. Then various kinds of thoughts and ideas will appear, will reflect in your mind. That is the reason. Gita is, as I said in the very beginning, Gita is our mother, father, teacher and friend. Thank you. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhusya sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. O Lord, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my friend, you are my companion, you are my wealth and you are my learning. You are my all in all, O Lord. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Peace, peace, peace be to all.